Hello, welcome everybody to your first lecture of mathematics. I heartily welcome to all of you in your first year BSc class through this online lecture. Friends, we had a online meeting, and near about 32 students were participated in that meeting, but some of the students they have not participated in the meeting. There may be different reasons, अनेक कारणं असू शकतील की ज्याच्यामुळे काही विद्यार्थ्यांना त्या मीटिंगमध्ये सहभागी होता आलेलं नसेल. परंतु आपणाला या नवीन वर्षाच्या सुरुवातीला ज्या अभ्यासक्रमासाठी तुम्ही प्रवेश घेतलेला आहे त्या अभ्यासक्रमाचा एक भाग हा मॅथमॅटिक्स पेपर 1 आणि मॅथमॅटिक्स पेपर 2, की ज्यापैकी मॅथमॅटिक्स पेपर 1 त्याचं नाव आहे कॅल्क्युलस 1. सो द फर्स्ट पेपर इज कॅल्क्युलस 1 अँड वी विल try to learn the concepts from this paper. Already I have told you regarding the syllabi during our discussion, but see once again. So there are 3 topics, 3 units for this paper for semester 1: real number system, sequences, and third one is differential equation. So as per the standard norms, there are 15 lectures for each of this topic. Out of these differential equations, I think you might have studied some part of it in your 12th standard. Sequences, the arrangement of numbers like say 1, 5, 9, then 13 and so on, or then what is the next number, or you may have infinitely many numbers. So such type of arrangements you have studied during your school days, which we call as a sequence of number or a pattern of numbers. Here, so during your school days you have learnt sequences, but these sequences were sequences of natural numbers, or maybe at the most of integers. But now here you are going to learn sequences of real numbers. Okay. So the first unit is real number system. Friends, we will begin with this first unit, real number system. Now few things I would like to make clear with you in the beginning. These are the 3 units as per the standard nature of the question paper. There will be one question on each of these unit, and so 3 questions, and 4th question is on all the units together, and one of the question 1 is objective type questions or multiple choice questions. So in all there are 5 questions, 20 marks each, and each question is of 20 marks. So 20 marks, 20 marks, 20 marks. 4th question is also for 20 marks, and question 1 is always question 5 actually of 20 marks, and first question is always of objective type, and it is again of 20 marks, where there will be 10 objectives, and you have to only write the correct answers. So this is what the nature of the question paper is. Again, here see, in real number system you have learnt numbers from your very first year, or since your nursery, or if some of you have taken their education in Marathi medium, then maybe it Balwadi or Anganwadi. Okay. So we start studying numbers as a first course. Okay. So as we learn either the alphabets, Marathi alphabets or English alphabets, together we study the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4. So, we start with always the natural numbers. Okay. So, just we will have a look about how is the number system, how the number system has been developed. So, the first numbers that you have learnt, in the number system, so they deal with the natural numbers. So, that is why we start studying numbers with natural numbers. So, natural numbers. And what are these numbers? The numbers 1, 2, 3 and so on and so on, these are called as natural numbers. Now, why the name natural numbers? Natural. So, these are the numbers which are used to count the objects which exist in the nature. Whatever exists in the nature, to count the such objects, the numbers used, they are called as natural number. Whatever exists in the nature and the numbers used to count them, such objects are called as natural numbers. Set of natural numbers n is denoted by n, and it is the collection of numbers 1, 2, 3 and so on and so on. So, natural numbers, they are infinite in number, so infinitely many. So, if you have a natural number, if you know suppose 99, if you add to 18, then you will get the next natural number. So, that is what the property of natural number is, but you can count, how many natural numbers you know? Yes, you know infinitely many natural numbers, and see you can count also, go on counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1 lakh, 1 billion, 1 billion 1 and so on and so on. So, they are infinite in number. Okay. So, set of natural number is infinite but countable set. Okay. Now, if you take what is the property of the members of this? So, members of this set. So, as the natural numbers, they are used to count. So, if you take any two main numbers, say suppose x, maybe x 2, 3, any y, any member of this. So, if x and y, this is the notation used for belongs to. You might have learnt in 11th or 12th, x comma y belongs to n, means these are the members of this set n. Then their addition of any x and y here is also a natural number. You take any two natural number, it will be a natural number, and if you take multiplication of any two natural number, it is again a natural number. So, the set of natural numbers is closed, we say that the set of natural numbers is closed under the operation of addition and multiplication. Means if you take any two members of the set of natural numbers, then their sum is also a natural number and their product is also a natural number. Now, these numbers are used to count the objects which exist in the nature or which do exist, which we can sense, which we can see, look. Okay. But suppose I am conducting a lecture now in the class, and if we say the number of students present in the class, as there are no students, so what is the number that is used to count the number of students? There is no number present in this set of natural number which can be used to count the number of students, because there are no students in the class, students do not exist in the class. So, this number system was incomplete to count or measure the non-existing objects. Therefore, a number 0 which is given to the world, this whole of the world of mathematics by the great Indian mathematician Aryabhatta, 0. So, 0 was added to this set of natural numbers. 0 stands for nothing. It is used to count the objects which do not exist, non-existing objects. So, add 0 to this and the number system was extended, and the number system is called as whole numbers. Peoples by the time they felt that now if we add 0 to it, existing numbers, existing objects can be counted by using 1, 2, 3. these natural numbers, and which do not exist can be counted by using 0. So people by that time felt that the number system is now complete. So that's why they called this number system, the collection of numbers 0, 1, 2, 3 as whole numbers. संपूर्ण झाले numbers सगळे, complete number system. Okay, so and the set of whole numbers is denoted by W. W is equal to 0, 1, 2, 3. Now again, if you take any two members of this x and y, any two members, if x comma y belongs to W, means x and y are any two whole numbers, then again their addition or sum and product of any two members of this is again a whole number from this collection. This is again infinite collection. Now see, if you want to deal with now some further operations. For example, suppose one is interested in doing the operation of subtraction. The number system is progressed slowly and slowly as the peoples over the centuries, they felt the difficulties, they modified the number system accordingly as per their needs. 0 was not there, they added. Now the peoples by that time, they were interested to deal with a new operation called as subtraction. For example, suppose a person has 10 rupees and he wants to pay 5 rupees to somebody. Then what is the amount remained with him? So 10 minus 5, now we know, but by the time people were not knowing, so that's why they introduced the operation of subtraction. But they felt a difficulty in doing the operation of subtraction with whole numbers. See, what is the difficulty they faced? For example, suppose I take a number 15 and I take another number as 7. 15 minus 7, suppose I have 15 rupees, I want to pay 7 rupees to somebody else, then I will have 8 rupees at the end. But suppose I have 7 rupees and I want to pay 15 rupees to somebody else, then is it possible? What is the amount that will remain with me? Yes, there was no answer in this number system. So that's why now we know that 7 minus 15 is minus 8. Minus sign indicates you have to pay to somebody. Minus 8 means I have to pay 8 rupees to somebody. So that number was not here. So that's why the mathematician by that time, they modified this number system, whole numbers, and they added negative numbers of this minus 1, minus 2, minus 3 and so on to this number system, and the new number system is called as integers. Such a collection of integers is either denoted by I or script Z, and I is equal to, so dash 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 means there are minus 3 here, minus 4, minus 5 and so on and so on and so on. Minus 3, minus 2, minus 1, 0, then 1, 2, 1, 2, 3 and so on and so on. So see here you have now negative numbers, positive numbers and 0. So these numbers 1, 2, 3 and so on, they are also called as positive integers. These numbers minus 1, minus 2, minus 3 and so on, these numbers they are called as negative integers. So integers consist of negative integers, 0 and positive integers. Okay, all together they form the set of integers. Sometimes you may have the set as of negative integers and of non-negative integers. What is non-negative? These are negative integers. And what do you mean by non-negative? Those who are not negative. What are non-negative numbers here? 0, 1, 2, 3 and so on. So 0 and positive integers, remember they are also called as non-negative integers. Now see why this number system was developed because this number system was incomplete in defining subtraction. Now see whether this is compatible for the operation of subtraction. See 15 minus 7, if you take 15 here, 15 from this, and if you have minus 7, actually see it is done like this, 15 plus minus 7, 15 plus minus 7 means 15 minus 7. So 15 plus minus 7 is 8 and 8 is here, 8 is a number here. Again if you have this, that means 7 plus minus 15 now, 7 plus minus 15. So it is minus 8 and you will have here minus 8. So the difficulty faced here was removed by adding negative integers. So the set of integers is now closed, means the members of this set satisfy. If x and y are any two members here, then x plus y is also a member of this. X minus y is also a member of this. Not only that, x into y is also a member of this. Okay. So the set of integers is closed with respect to addition, multiplication and subtraction. Now as there was a progress in the field of mathematics, here the system of numbers was satisfying the property of addition, multiplication and subtraction. But further to deal with the property of division, this number system failed. Why do you do division? Do you know what is the use of division? Why do we do division? Division is carried out to make equal parts of numerator of the size of denominator. For example, see, suppose you have 60 divided by 12, division of these two. So why do we do division? We do division to make equal parts of numerator of what size? Of the size of denominator. So how many parts of 60 can be made of size of 12? So there can be 5 parts of 60 can be made of the size of 12, each of size 12. So that is the meaning of division. So we do division to carry out or to make equal parts of numerator. Division, to divide, make equal parts of the size of denominator of numerator. Okay. So now when people thought of making equal parts of something of some size, then this number system was again failed. Why? Because see here, suppose somebody has taken say minus 80 and he wants to make part of minus 80 of the size of say 8. Then how many parts he can make? Yes, how many parts? Yes, there will be minus 10 parts. Or if you feel something odd, then suppose you take a number 80 and you want 8 parts of 80, then there will be such 10 parts. But suppose I have 8 and I want to make its 80 parts, then see here, this is the number of parts that you have made of this. So this is a integer, this is a integer. Either you may take this minus or this minus and you may have minus 10, and minus 10 is here. My 80 was from this set, minus 8 was from this set, and the answer was also from this set. So for these numbers, division was here, division is valid here. But if I take these two numbers, 8 by 80, means I want to make 80 parts of 8, then what will be the answer? What you know is 1 by 10. Whether 1 by 10 is here, It is a fraction. These are integers. This is a fraction. Okay. So 1 by 10 is not here. So you have taken 8 from this set, 80 from this set, but their division is not a member of this. That means for some numbers division of any 2 is here, but for some numbers their division, the answer may not be a member of this. That means the set of integers was incomplete, or it is incomplete with respect to operation of division. Why? Because these are all integers, Purnanka Sankhya. Okay. But when we deal with division, sometimes the division is a fraction and fractions are not there. So that's why again this number system, this set of numbers was extended by adding, what should be added here? Fractions. So by adding fractions, and the new set by extending this was called as set of rational numbers. Rational numbers. See this. Rational numbers. So what are rational numbers? See the name given to those numbers which are being added by extending this set. What is the name? Rational. See here, rational indicates ratio. Ratio means division. So those numbers which can be expressed as division of any two integers. Division of integers, and the set of rational numbers is denoted by script q. Always script q stands for set of rational numbers. So numbers of the type, this is q is the set of all numbers of the type p by q, means ratio or division or quotient of what are p and q? P and q belongs to I, integers. But see here, p and q can be anything. Have you observed one thing? If you add 0 to this, you get this. So this set is a part of this. This is a subset of this. Again, this set is, all members of this set are a part of this set. Okay, so this set of whole numbers W is a subset of I. You have learned set theory in your 11th and 12th. And now I am extending this. So numbers of the type p by q such that p comma q, these two, this ratio, each member of this belongs to I, is an integer here. My question is whether these members of all this set are here. For example, see, suppose I will take q as 1, q is equal to 1. If you take q1 here, take q1. So what you will have is p by 1, division by 1. Yes, you know it is nothing but p. So and p belongs to what? P belongs to I, and q is 1. So p belongs to I means p will be minus 3, minus 2, minus 1. So you may have minus 3 upon 1, minus 2 upon 1, minus 1 upon 1, 0 upon 1, 1 upon 1, 2 upon 1, and you know division by 1 gives the same number. So you will have all these numbers. So if q is equal to 1 here, if you take q1, it is your choice. You can take any value to p and q except one number. Do you know what is that number? Which number should not be in the denominator? That number is 0. Okay, so you should not take q as 0. Okay, so that's why I have kept a space here. Q is not 0. Never q should be in the 0 should be in the denominator. So other than 0 you can take any value to q. If you take q1, then you will get set of integers. Okay, so this is a subset of this now, and all these sets will be subsets of this. Now see here, these are the reach numbers If you take any two members of this, if x comma y belongs to Q, then take any two numbers, any two rational numbers, then their addition is a rational number, their multiplication is a rational number, their subtraction is also a rational number. Not only that, their division is also a rational number provided y is non-zero. Provided y is non-zero. So, this set of rational numbers satisfies all the, it deals with all the four operations that you have learnt up to your third standard or fourth standard. Now, see, what is the definition of rational numbers? Those numbers which can be expressed as, what is the rational number? Those numbers which can be expressed as division of or ratio of two integers. Division or ratio of two integers. But do you know any number? Do you know any number which can be, which cannot be expressed as division of two integers? Yes? So, x by y all belongs to Q, all belongs to Q except y not equal to 0. All these belongs to this set of rational numbers. So, this is the property of this set of rational number. Okay. So, rational numbers are those which can be expressed as division of two integers. But do you know any number which cannot be expressed as division of two integers? For example, root 2. Can you express this number as division of two integers? And there are infinitely such numbers, root 3, root 5, root 7, root 11, root 13. So, root 2, sometimes you may write this as 1.4 up to 1 decimal. You may write this as, so 1.4 means 14 by 10. Some people may write it as 1.41 up to 2 decimals. So, this can be expressed as 141 by 100. Some people may write this as 1412. So, by that time this may be 1412 divided by 1000 and so on. You write up to 3 decimal here, up to 4 decimal you will get some different expression. See, number is the same. Same number can be expressed in division of two different numbers, and in mathematics it is not possible. If you have any number, then it can be expressed division of precisely two numbers. Okay, so but there are certain numbers which cannot be expressed as division of exactly two fixed numbers. They can be expressed like this as per your choice. So, such numbers which cannot be expressed as division of two integers, they are called as, or which cannot be expressed as ratio of two numbers, they are called as irrational numbers, which are not rational. Irrational numbers, numbers which cannot be expressed as numbers which cannot be expressed as numbers which cannot be expressed as ratio of two definite integers, okay, they are called as irrational numbers. So, these are the numbers which cannot be expressed as ratio of two definite. This is very important. Just I have told you root 2 can be 14 by 10 or root 2 can be 141.100 and so on and so on, not definite. So, those which are not rational, they are called as irrational number, and set of irrational numbers is denoted by either q dash or we will see the further another notation later on. Okay. So, it is denoted by usually script q dash. So, this is about irrational numbers. Now, at the end you will have the set of if I take now those which cannot be expressed as ratio of two integers and which cannot be expressed as ratio of two integers, if I combine them, so set of rationals and irrationals set of rationals and irrational numbers is called as the set of real numbers, and it is denoted by script R, set of real numbers. So what is that? R is set of rational numbers, all rationals, and union and which are not rationals and which are not rational. That is, rationals and irrational numbers together they form the set of real numbers. So thus R is Q union Q dash. Therefore, see, this union this, those which are rational, those which are not rational. So they together form the set of real numbers, and you have to study the properties of your first unit is real number system. So you have to study the real number system, that is properties of real numbers. Okay, so this is the story of number system and how the number system has been developed from natural numbers to real numbers. You have to, in your first year course, you have to study different properties of R. What are the properties of real numbers, how they have been developed and how they are used in the whole of calculus or whole of mathematics. So when you start with the properties of real numbers, remember, usually in mathematics there are two basic operations, plus and dot, or that is into, or it is denoted by cross. There are only two basic operations, plus and cross or dot, either of the notation. These are the only two basic operations, because you may say, now see, just you have told that there is plus and minus and dot and division. Now I am saying that only there are two basic, but see, there are two only basic. How? Because see, suppose I have x minus y. I may write this as x plus minus y, because if y is an integer or y is a real number, minus y is also a real number. Minus y is also a real number. So this is sum of two numbers now. This was subtraction here, but I can do it as a subtraction. So remember, subtraction can be carried out as a addition. Similarly, x by y is x into 1 upon y. You know, if I have 2, then I have 1 upon 2. 1 upon 2 is a rational number, means it is a real number, and real number into real number is another real number. So multiplication. So thus you can perform division in terms of multiplication, subtraction in terms of addition. So that's why there are only two basic operations or fundamental operations in the real number system, and from your first article of this topic we will start discussing the properties or axioms. So there are certain properties of real numbers which cannot be proved for your first year course, as they require a vast knowledge, or it is beyond the scope or limitation of your syllabus. So therefore we will here assume these properties, or they are also called as axioms or suppositions for properties of real numbers. There are some 15 to 16 properties which we accept as they are, and then by assuming these properties or by using these properties we will do further mathematics or analysis about the real numbers. Okay. So, from next lecture we will deal with actual properties of real number systems.